Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we're back to the Evil Within. Let's continue. Make sure I say the name right. Interesting. A special crypt character that I assume I can't burn. And over here we've got some traps. Honestly, I don't see a real point to put your gun away ever. It seems kind of like an unnecessary ability. And I think by walking up here we'll either trigger another section in which we move through reality, and we already got moved through reality to reach this point, or we just go up this steps. So I'm hearing some people talk about Resident Evil 2 in the end of the year discussions, the Giant Bombcast in particular, and they were talking specifically about how the Evil Within 2 goes in a slightly different direction, and that this is actually the bad one. And you might argue that it's not even necessary to play this game. You might just be able to skip into the sequel and not miss too much, and you'd be playing something different and better. Arguably, I would potentially say that this is closer to Resident Evil 4 than the Evil Within 2 is. But like, even the fact that when you shoot people in the head, sometimes they go berserk and run faster, is part of the idea of what was introduced in RE4. That it was still valuable and useful to shoot the guys in the head, but it did sometimes offer a extra challenge. And I don't think you ever get fully finished with the game. I don't think you can shoot people in the chest even with the most powerful weapons and have enough bullets to do that throughout the whole game in RE4, and probably almost certainly not in this game either. Let's see, I would think maybe there was some trick to shooting that unlit candle or something, but this game seems kind of watered down, kind of missing things that, if this was in production for a couple more years, would have been helpful. Well, this clearly looks like a door.
Looks loose.
So now we have an old lithograph. A lithograph was pried from the stone door, which seems to have been used as a key. Maybe I should move faster. Some creepy things are going on, and I'm not even looking in the right direction. Many instances we've seen of this where the game, like, yeah, that got bloody, just basically should take control of the camera and zoom in and show me what it's trying to show me. And now that we had taken the key, this opened up. See, this feels like maybe you would get a secondary lantern. And now we have a treasure chest with a key in it. Interesting. Let's see. And I have like the maximum amount of sniper rifle bullets. And there was nothing in any of those. And nothing over here. The idea that they'd introduce safes this late into the game is awkward. We're getting a lot of that. Catacomb note, help, the metallic pounding, he's coming. I run, but he follows. But help, 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 help. Like, this is another one of those scenarios where I start thinking, should I step up from the handgun to something else? Here's a thought. Wouldn't that have been crazy if that worked? That any mirror in the game you could have shot and you could have gotten the safe location and go back to the safe room. That would have been really crazy and unexpected. But instead we get the icon that we're safe and we get the quick save. And the save icon seems to only make sense if you were playing the game with no save file at all. Which the number of people who would have chosen no profile at whatsoever, and like they didn't want a game that is several hours long and has several instances in which you can accidentally just be killed. Like, there might be dozens of people in the entire world who would have ever played this game without a save file. So that's not worth having two icons for. So then it starts to feel more like somebody accidentally just didn't communicate, and there was one person in charge of making one icon, and another team in charge of another person or team in charge of making another icon, and the reason for both of those icons to exist overlapped. And it is very common in video game development that sections are just kind of merged in the last few months of development, and then it goes into a QA mode. We've got another save thing, and then we've got like the second icon of the church, and it seems like it's going to be a boss fight. The music that's playing now is inviting, but I could also see people being afraid of it like it was a trick. But you probably do that with any music, so I don't know how you fix that. Get some more backstory. Lily's birth announcement. We welcome with love Lily Lillian Castellanos, born July 18th, 2006, 9:56 a.m., 7 pounds 3 ounces, 14 inches. Proud parents Sebastian and Myra Castellanos. Putting the birth announcement and the height and the weight and everything next to the twins who were given the serum and made to grow huge is slightly helpful, but probably would have been better to have this information given first and a lot closer to the twins' information, because at this point I've fought the twins, forgot about them, fought the dog, forgot about him, and been through several sections of walking around, taking on catacombs found beneath parish. And so now we're coming out of pictures on the newspapers. Catacombs found beneath parish. Pastor says nothing to lose sleep over. Who took care of this place? Workmen repairing collapsed floor discovered man-made passage beneath Cedar Hill Church. Claimed they saw mummies. Parish denies access to historians, claiming sacrilege.
I see.
I'm not really the warring type that much. It's totally not unheard of that there would be catacombs under a church, particularly old churches. Missing Chris Taylor, construction foreman, disappeared while overseeing repairs of a fallen church floor. Repairs were nearly completed, so it's unlikely he fell. And like, if we're looking at the second one of these, you'd think the first door would open, but it isn't. So it feels odd that they would introduce those doors so early in the game and then very little to do with them. Interesting, we're getting some different noises in here. It sounds almost like a storm. Hoping for 5,000 goo or better. 7,000 goo. Suppose it's questionable if maybe the amount of goo you get goes up as you open more and more of these. Or maybe that was the right one to have opened in the first place. If there's one of those locks and it has 10,000 or more goo in it, that would be amazing. Super helpful early game. Now, not so much. We're pretty set, I think. We've hit a point where even though we can hold a lot of bullets, there's we're still at full. Did those other icons here for these other weapons, were they there originally, or did they not show up until I moved to the left or right? So I could spend 10,000 and not get them, and I could get the maximum amount of handgun ammo, which would be 25 more shots. I think that's probably worth it. And 4 more grenades. I think that's probably worth it. And let's see, fire rate, capacity, accuracy, critical. We'll just bring up the critical on the handgun. With 600 goo left, there's nothing more. So 3,000 could increase my clip capacity on this, and 7,000 for that, and 10,000 for that. 10,000 could get my life bar up. Maybe I should at some point put some more into melee damage and sprint time, maybe even syringe usefulness. But honestly, most of these things seem like they're fine as they are. I'm no longer in a situation where it feels like I'm in really too much danger. We'll take the first and start overriding every other chapter. This is a game that I'm covering, and I've had to take a lot more breaks than I probably would have wanted to. This I could imagine a straight run through this experience, like 1 or 2 sittings without getting up at all might work a little bit better. So that doesn't seem like a door I can open. And this doesn't seem like a door I can open. So I have 1 key. And I guess that's gonna set me to unlocking a passage. So now I'm gonna have to go this way and probably take on some enemies. And that way and probably take on some enemies. These might be puzzle rooms or something. Again, you're kind of moving from being in the catacomb into a basement. Like, this is the hospital basement again. Is this stuff explosive? If it is, it's not triggered by this, by shots. And does seem to inhalation hazard. So let's say this was the twins again. That would be kind of confusing. For a second there, I thought I saw a rope for a booby trap. Okay. What do we see? We see a hanging corpse. We see a bomb. And I wonder if this is all a trick. I see a doorway. Like, I shouldn't be wasting my bullets for these things. Anybody else coming? That one was a little too close for comfort. I hear a little bit of sound, but I'm not certain here. Creepy sounds. Matches. I thought, maybe I'm not paying attention, but I thought that this was a wooden door. And see, that kind of looks like a wooden door at an angle too. And so that's leading me to kind of misconstrue whether enemies can see me or not. Sounds like there's some guys that way, so let's start by going this way. See, this looks like a complete torture chamber. And should I go further? Or should I go this way? I guess that's just gonna be decorative. Alright. Seems like bullets will go through these chambers just fine. And there's a very Resident Evil kick. Seriously? Those bodies weren't close enough, or? Seems like I may have wasted some matches. Trying to throw matches through the... I guess I could have come over here and killed them with spikes too. So that's something to consider. This was an unnecessary side section that I could have avoided if I ever plan on speedrunning this, which is kind of a big if. Now this time the gate is left open. Wonder if that's because you press the button to open the door quickly. Yeah, that would have just crushed them all. And here we have a chair, a torture chair with a bomb behind the back of it. Some Japanese have a weird extra knowledge of torture devices than I'd say most people of European descent who don't have descendants who very possibly would have been tortured. Let's see. Well, that didn't work. Where'd the axe go? Don't tell me I used the axe on that and it still didn't die. There are definitely some instances where it feels like I shouldn't have lost the axe. We get the black bars, a cutscene. And see, this is the first time we've had a quick time event in the entire game. And the room is still slowly filling up with poison. No, I guess we've had these sections too. So one is hoping that it's dissolving the poisonous gas. That wasn't too bad, and in fact, I think if I was to try and use the syringe right now, it'd probably fill me completely back to health. We didn't spend a lot of time looking around, but I think we're safe. Safe enough to avoid that. Unless they turn the gas back on in this seems almost like a pool instead of a passageway. I'd very much prefer if the game didn't start giving me two piles of small goo instead of just one pile of large goo. So these don't feel like the twins, they just feel kind of like maybe more people who were given the serum, and maybe the serum is the green goo. So maybe throughout the whole game I'm injecting myself with the exact thing that would turn me into these guys. And any of that would be a concern, I suppose, if we, for even a second, were given the thought that any of this was real. Remember that more than likely we were plugged into some kind of machine or knocked into a dream at the very beginning in the hospital. And when we ran out of the hospital and the world started changing like Inception, we were already inside this fiction. So it takes a ton of the fear away from the game when you don't believe reality is real. I'm not sure which way I'm supposed to go here. Whether this is the way or if this is a side sneaky way. Or whether this is the way. I might need to, I think it's probably time to equip the shotgun. Like we started down this tunnel. Wait a minute. If we started down that tunnel, was there another passage over here? I'm having trouble mapping out this place. I don't know if the game is screwing with me or if I'm just not paying enough attention. I think I'm not paying enough attention if I was to guess. But even when I do blow myself up like that, it's so inconsequential. Okay. So we see maybe there's some pickups over there, but there's nothing to... The only reason to come in this direction was to blow myself up, or if I was a better player, catch those pieces. So we're gonna go through there. Let's see, how are we on archive things now? 7 of 16. What chapter are we in? I think chapter 7. 8 of 16. So 5 of 26 map fragments. Either there's entire sections in chapters that I missed, which I would agree, particularly in the early chapters, it probably was. But, or there's just some new game plus that takes us into entirely different sections of the game. And if in RE4 that worked really well, but it is also very possible to undersell your own game by hiding half of the content from in a new game plus. Borderlands sort of does that also. The first playthrough kind of limits you to a max level, at least it originally did. They may have changed that later. And the second playthrough has the higher weapons and interesting things. It doesn't change it too much in Borderlands, but RE4, I suppose, again, is the closest similar game where when you're playing Ada's story, you're in completely different areas with a completely different set of weapons, a completely different character, and it plays in parallel. Although I would also say that I believe Ada Wong's story was added kind of as a re-release DLC before there was DLC, so the original RE4 may not have even had that in it. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good